Hello there. I had to delete my last video and I want to explain why, but it has to do with the fact that I kind of hate skateboarding, skateboarding culture, skateboarding industry, a lot about it. Also, very negative note to start on, this video is also sponsored by Squarespace. Actually, I've had a few days to calm down and it's really not that bad, but this video, the title and thumbnail, have to do with the fact that I went to the skate park with my fiance, and that part was incredible. It's been a very long time. Welcome to Chisholm Trail Skate Park. This is my favorite one, and I am very fortunate to have something so beautiful next to me, but I'm also very fortunate to have such a beautiful creature filming today and hanging out with me. And who is that creature?
It me.
Yes, Sarah Dici, rhymes with Peachy. Hello, introduce yourself. What do you do, and how old are you?
I am.
You don't have to answer that one, but
I don't want to answer that anymore.
Okay.
I have a new camera today, and I am your fianca, and I haven't been at the skate park with you in so long, so I was like, why not hang out and film a video, and I can help you. I hope you'll use some of my footage.
I 100% will, and she's also a very successful YouTuber. I will say that. She interviewed Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay.
But yeah.
We used to collab all the time, but now we just collab online.
Exactly. Life is sicker though. Today she's gonna film the entire montage you're about to watch. Yeah, probably that's it. Struggling a bit today because now that it's actually a bit cooler, the wind is in effect and it is attacking. So you can only skate the skate park in one direction per usual, but I still take it over the hot weather any day, but I'm still having a lot of fun. I don't know, I kind of want to do something with Sarah, make her go around and ask her some skate questionnaires.
Oh, okay, that'd be fun.
Something like that, I don't know.
This is so loose.
Like the trucks?
I'm used to having a little bit of resistance.
Oh, you're coming right at me. There you go, chilling. When you're pushing, just make sure your right foot doesn't hit the side of the board. Oh, here.
Oh my God.
Maintain. Oh, she's going. It's really mellow if you want to just try. Oh, she's just going straight into the hill. Oh!
Oh God, what am I gonna do?
Can you jump off? Nice.
I used to be so much better.
You just started, it's been like 12 seconds. Yep.
Go.
Nice. Oh, she is juiced. Yes. I was actually gonna recommend you do that. She's doing it. Oh, I'm trying to keep up. Here we go. Woo! Oh my God.
Like go up to it slow and then turn?
Yeah, so go up this ramp and just turn around. Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah! Nice. Oh my God. Oh, she's turning. Nice.
Did you want to like ask me questions or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah. Before we get into that, a word from our sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the best website to build websites. All of their templates are beautiful and they're award-winning, and you don't have to try to do some design work. You can just download one of what they have and then just basically paste over the words that they already have there. So it's really easy to create a clean site with no experience. Also, email campaigns is something they have. They have new features that roll out all the time. They have blogging, the perfect blogging features. They have online store set up, everything that you need, and they just guide you the whole way through. So if you do plan on building a business, or you want to create a creative portfolio, or you want to write, I recommend 100% creating a website, and Squarespace is the easiest one to use for those things, so that companies in the future can just see what you have, or you can just build a store. That sounds fun. But if you want to check it out, you can click the link in the description down below, or go to squarespace.com/JohnHill to get 10% off your first purchase or domain, or you can just go to the website and try it out for free. You can test it, and I guarantee you, if you are entrepreneurial, you will enjoy it. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the video. I've just come up with a game on the spot for Sarah Dici. I'm gonna ask her 5 questions. I'm gonna go around the park and be like, what is this? And if you can get 5 right,
I get food.
You win $100.
$100? That's the most you've ever given to me.
We should do 5. I'm gonna make this really simple first. Okay. Babe, what is this thing behind us right here?
A bowl.
Wow.
Nailed it.
How'd you know that?
$20.
Wait, how'd you know that?
What do you mean, how'd I know that?
I don't think the average person would look at that and be like, a bowl.
It's a bowl where you skate in. What are you talking about? I've watched the Disney movies where you're rollerblading in bowls and stuff.
Oh.
I know it's a bowl. I played Tony Hawk Pro
I think
Skater.
I'm underestimating what the average person knows about skateboarding.
Thank you.
Well, I'll get the cash in the car.
Number 2.
Okay, what is that? This thing.
A platform? A rail?
I'll give you a hint.
Platform rail.
I said it earlier and
a hubba. Nailed it.
Wow.
All right, next.
That's pretty good. What is this called right here?
A manual pad?
Damn it.
Here we go.
This is taking like 1 second. So for the final 2, I feel like you're definitely gonna get one of these easily. There are actually 2 things here. There's this thing and this thing. What are each of them called?
Like a drop-in ramp or a drop-in.
So it is 2 words, and that's very close. Very close. You need to replace one of those words. And it's very practical.
Drop slope.
I'll give you even more of a hint.
In.
You replace the first word, yes, but what do you do?
Jump in.
Close. What do skateboards do?
Poppin'.
Less intense.
Drop in.
Drop in is the trick where you like put your tail on and you drop in. So
slide in.
Well, okay. So drop in is when you go like this. You're in the tail and you go this. Because so you would be dropping in. So what would you do to this one?
Slide in.
Are you sliding?
Skate in.
What do skateboards do? They don't slide. Like when you are just
pushing.
What are you doing?
Rolling.
Yes. First try. So what's that?
Half pipe.
Ooh.
Oh, the first one I've gotten wrong.
Why is it called a half pipe?
It's half of a pipe.
So what's that called?
Quarter pipe.
Boom!
I did it.
Let's talk about skateboarding. Okay, I've had an issue with the skateboard industry forever. I think sometimes the chip on my shoulder is a little too obvious, and I think in this video, it's probably shining through a bit too much. But the reason I had to take down the last video is because I filmed a location and a lot of locals who actually built things at that location didn't want it exposed. Now it totally makes sense, obviously, and I was like, hey, maybe I'll just take it down, even though that last video was originally what had this Squarespace sponsor, and I wasn't warned beforehand that it was going to be an issue. I was just like, oh, a foundation spot in the middle of the woods, nobody can see where we're at, there's gonna be no problem. But I've actually had this issue before where someone was like, hey, like, we don't like the fact that you showed this. In the past, it's been a little more annoying because it's been like, hey, don't show that skate spot. And I'm like, I found the skate spot on my own accord. I didn't get anyone to guide me here. I was just driving and I went to a random school and they're like, now you're blowing out the spot. And then the spot doesn't get blown out because no one knew where I went and who's watching the videos. But in this specific situation, I actually totally understand. I will say, I do think the people involved were dicks about it. That seems to happen a lot in skateboarding where people can't just be chill or cool about a situation. I think they look at me now as like a this dude is exposing this thing or taking the credit for this thing, and in no way am I ever trying to do that. But I've been getting shit since the beginning of skateboarding by the skate community, and it's never really been friendly. There have been people in it who have welcomed me with open arms. But I'm gonna make a video about going to basically my first skate park ever, and I'm gonna tell more of a story about my background in skateboarding. But you kind of hear this a lot. Like, there's this meme where skateboarders hate skateboarders, and it's because for whatever reason, as you're progressing in skateboarding, and especially if you are getting better at skateboarding, you're putting out a lot of content, you're trying, people will start stacking against you. It's the weirdest thing where it seems like this misery loves company industry. And I was gonna make a video about Rob Dyrdek talking about this. Rob Dyrdek is worth, I don't know if you knew this, but like $500 million. He's worth a lot of money because of all the companies he's built. And now he actually takes up most of the time on MTV. Pretty impressive story for a skateboarder. But when he talks about skateboarding, I almost cried because he was talking about how much money he's put back into skateboarding. The thing is, people have this expression where it's like, well, dude, skateboarding doesn't owe me, I owe skateboarding. And it's like, if that's true for you, great, but skateboarding is a business, it's an industry. I've paid for all the skateboards I've used up to a certain point until it actually benefited the companies to put my name attached with the boards. So I don't owe skateboarding anything. I feel like people think of skateboarding as like a god, an entity, like I owe this thing. And it's like, do you actually? I mean, if you paid for all the skateboards, you paid for the stuff that you have. You don't owe anyone anything. And I understand the sentiment where it's like, well, this industry made me who I am. It made me feel good. But the skateboarding is responsible for a lot of the bad feelings that I have. So it's like, well, do I owe them a slap to the face because skateboarding gave me that? I remember in New York, I was getting some shit as well. And I remember somebody who actually a lot of people know messaging me and being like, hey, like, this is kind of what happens here. Kind of happens in California as well. If you grow, people will talk shit and maybe build against you, but I promise you'll always be able to find your crew. And he was absolutely right. I mean, growing up, I had my crew. You always have the people that you can connect with and that will connect with you. And in Texas, it has been nothing but positivity. But the second that I had someone kind of come at me, I was like, man, it just reinvigorated all those feelings again. And I was like, yeah, you suck. And it's one of those things where I would be like, you know what? This is what happens. This is life. But it is not. This is not a good projection on how the actual world works. Through YouTube and through the business I started before YouTube, I have actually tinkered with a lot of other industries. I've met lots of creators. I've met lots of people. I've met lots of New Yorkers who weren't skateboarders. And I have always been treated with a very high level of respect, if not a mutual level of respect, which I think is fair to ask for from meeting anyone new who might not know who you are, just to have a normal conversation, or even if they know you, to give you a chance. But in skateboarding, there's a lot of people who are not willing to do that. It's a misery loves company. Oh, I was talking about Rob Dyrdek. Rob Dyrdek used that expression, misery loves company, because he put a lot of money back into skateboarding, unnecessary amounts of money. I think he bought Alien Workshop for millions of dollars when in no way, no reason he had to. And because the company got so much shit for Rob Dyrdek purchasing the company, he gave it back to them. That means he gave them millions of dollars for free and got nothing out of it except for a bunch of hate for trying to save a company that was about to go bankrupt. And he said all of his experiences were like this, even though he created Street League and he did get a payday at the end of that, but obviously it wasn't the kind of payday he got from every other industry who welcomed him. And even every time he mentioned to his accountants, hey, I want to do something with skateboarding, they'd be like, please don't. Every time you do this, skateboarding just takes your soul away. It takes your money away. No one in there, it's not like a righteous community. There's bad in every community, but for whatever reason, I have always gotten the most shit from the industry of the activity that I love to do the most. I love skateboarding more than anything, the actual act of it, but I am so not a fan of the culture. I am so not a fan of going places and feeling uneasy because people are talking about me. And this is my whole life. This isn't just YouTuber John. This is like me young and people being like, oh my, judging me for the clothes I was wearing and because me and my friends were poor and stuff. And people would literally be talking shit. And I remember they did it to my brother one time and he just kicked him. I turned around and he kicks this kid and he says, say one more thing. And that was it. It was done with that. But it was just insane that even had to escalate by these people being like, look at these poor kids. Like, what? Like, that's insane. That wasn't even their mindset. It was just seeing people who looked different. And the reason we looked different is because we couldn't afford the cool punk clothes that all of the kids were wearing. Now, I say the skateboard industry because obviously a lot of people like me. That's why this YouTube channel has 1 million subscribers, because a lot of people have very much enjoyed the things that I've made, enjoyed the journey, related to a lot of the things I've had to say, and it makes me feel happier than ever to know that there's so many people out there who relate to me, because skateboarding would make me think the opposite. It would literally make me think that I am just the most detestable, unlikable person naturally, and I've proven that wrong because of how many people out there like me. I feel like that sounds kind of pathetic, but it's just the truth. And it just feels like the community is full of self-entitled brats. And obviously, if you're listening to this going like, that ain't me, then that ain't you. Congratulations for being a decent human being. I meet lots of decent human beings. Why do people in skateboarding have to suck so bad so many of the time? I also meet the greatest people I've ever met in my life in skateboarding. That needs to be said. This is obviously a lot of frustration coming off of having to delete my last video, frustration from having to deal with the weird anxiety involved with people being angry at you and hitting you up on Instagram and being like, come on, do we really have to go through this? And I know even this video might induce some of that, but I think I'm not being like, this person, you suck. Well, yeah, I am. I'm just not gonna say their names, but yeah, I mean, people suck. Like that's just what it is. I mean, people out there who reach out to me and are mean to me without knowing me, you suck. You're judgmental. You don't know me, and you're being mean to me. That's lame. You're probably kind of a bad person, because that's kind of what that means by judging. I mean, historically, judging has not been a good thing in America, and it's still not a good thing. I just wanted to rant a little bit. I also think that there's probably some information in there that people find kind of useful randomly, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring an angry rant of mine, which kind of sucks that I'm coming off of, I know in the same video, Sarah and I hung out, and that was amazing. That was such a fun day. That was yesterday, and it was so nice. It was lovely hanging out with her, and I wish I could just do that all the time, because she's very loving and her entire community is so nice to me, and they're all like rich tech people on YouTube who make crazy good videos with good views, and it's such a big industry, and they're all really, really polite to me. I wish skateboarding would be the same way. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it.